The Reconnected Leader is all about the sense that senior leaders in organisations have become disconnected in a very volatile world, no longer really in tune with what their customers think, how their employees feel, or what's going on in their communities. Reconnection is a central issue for business and actually for all institutions because people have lost trust with leadership. Only 1 in 5 people now trust chief executives to tell the truth, and organisations without trust really can't go on and make the bold and brave decisions that they need to be successful in today's world. So that gap in trust between people and organisations needs to be closed, and this book is all about how we can do that. I think leaders of all kinds of organisations should really be interested in this book. I think that they will find the subject matter relevant to the changing dynamics around their roles. My experience is talking to many chairmen and chief executives is that they're really struggling to understand how they can work differently to connect with customers who are looking for different things. So I think leaders are the first audience. Clearly, HR directors and people responsible for leadership development are also a key audience because they are working with individuals to develop them for the future. And I think this book will give some different insights about how leadership needs to change for all categories of leader for the future. We see in today's world a really big breakdown in trust between individuals and the public and with organisations and their leaders. We see that happening across the spectrum. We see it in politics, we see it in big business, we see it across all kinds of institutions. And that breakdown in trust is absolutely fundamental. You can't have successful business in a broken society. And only a small number of leaders have woken up to the fact that if they want their businesses to be sustainable truly for the long term, then they have to reconnect with what's going on around them. You can't have businesses that are solely focused on being successful themselves in terms of narrow profitability if the rest of society isn't working. Now, whether that's the skills of the individuals in those organisations or the products that they make, there has to be some sense that they are there for the common good and that it isn't simply about self-interests of individuals running these companies. And that issue is dealt with right up front in the book. But then, rather than all the commentary that we see in a lot of the press today, the book really tries to go on and answer some of those questions. What can leaders be doing to reconnect with the public, with customers, and with their employees? And the book really grapples with those issues and comes up with some practical solutions that I think many leaders will find helpful in the challenges that we face in the 21st century. Well, the book talks about a number of practical examples that managers can really dig into that will help their organisations reconnect in a number of different ways. So as we look, for example, at growth to take organisations back into growth after a period of deep recession, then that issue, I think, really is one where reconnection can come to the fore. If we look at examples of Jugaad innovation in India, were really stripping back the innovation process and getting customers involved right at an early stage to find out what they want without overcomplicating things in R&D labs and shortening the R&D process as a result, bringing fantastic products to market at really low prices like the Akash iPad equivalent that now retails in India at something like £20, being made available to the whole of the population and opening up technology is a fantastic example of the type of things that can happen from an innovation perspective.